All right, guys, it's your Uncle Mike from the Credit Game. You know, I come to you every single day, Monday through Friday, to make sure that you have all the credit knowledge and education you need to make sound decisions when it comes to credit. I mean, when it comes to making a credit decision or understanding credit, I want to be the person that gives you the best knowledge, the most up-to-date information about everything that's going on. And I generate my videos based on your questions. And so it's the most relevant answers that I give because you guys are asking for it. So today we're going to talk about something very special. We're going to talk about something that a lot of people ask me about all the time and ask my team about. And that is, how do I get high limit credit cards? Okay, there's a few things I want to tell you. First of all, it's your first time on the channel, welcome aboard. I do this every day. Today, I'm chilling at the house, at the home office, and I'm doing a video just live and raw as possible for you guys. Normally I'm inside the office in the studio, but I want to share with you something. It's your first time on the channel, do me a favor. It means the world to me if you just hit the subscribe button if it's your first time. If not, do me a favor and smash the like button because that helps the algorithm as well. That's why we're growing the fastest credit channel, and I grew the fastest credit channel in national history because of you guys, because of my love with you guys and the fact that you guys are giving the love back. And also turn on that bell notification. There's 3 steps. Subscribe, turn on the bell notification, smash the like button. The reason for the bell is that way when I do the videos every day and I'm holding you accountable, holding myself accountable to making sure you learn it every single day about credit, that you get the notification when it comes in. And you can share it with a family member or friend, okay? Now, this topic and every topic that I do is because clients and members and students of mine are asking, what do I do in a situation like this? Okay, and the more people that ask me questions, then what I do is I go back and I do video based on that. So they're relevant, they're just not made up videos. I'm the only person that does this, okay? So what a lot of clients are asking is, how do I get higher limit credit cards? So are you tired? Let me ask you, are you tired of like the Capital One Platinum card, the Credit One Bank, right? Some of these Gold Star. You know, we're talking about the banks that are giving you, you know, the $300 to $500 credit limits, okay? Are you guys tired of those? Well, today, I'm going to give you 3 tips so you can get some higher limit credit cards. But first, you have to understand what a high balance is and a balance is. The balance, okay, on a credit card, we're going to give you an example. Let's say that you have a $1,000 credit card. Okay, and the most that you've ever used on that credit card was $800. That $800 reported to the credit bureaus. That is your high balance. Okay, that means the highest that's ever been on the card is considered your high balance. Your balance is basically what you use on a daily basis. Okay, that's your balance. At the end of each month, as it reports, it'll report your balance. Now, here's what's important. There's a few tips I want to give you to increase your credit limits to get higher limit credit cards. And the first thing that you need to know is that banks mimic what is on your credit report already. So let's say that you got a credit card that's $300, you got one that's $500, and you have one that's $1,000, for example. In this scenario, if you go to Navy Federal, if you go to Barclays, if you go to Citibank, you're more than likely not going to get a credit limit that is $15,000 because they're looking at your highest credit limit that's on your credit report, right? And banks don't want to over leverage. They're not going to give you a $15,000 if you've only been able to handle $1,000, right? Catch 22. So what could we do in order to take the credit limits and really get higher limit credit cards? What are some things that we can do? Well, the first thing you have to understand, and this is tip number 1, is that you want to make sure, if you can do this, that you use the most of the credit limit that you can. So for that example, if you had a $1,000 credit limit, okay, and that was your highest credit limit, I want you to find your highest credit limit, and I want you to use, now again, for the purposes of this is not to just basically max out credit cards because it will adversely affect you if you don't do what I'm telling you. It's counterproductive for you to put a big balance on a credit card because then you're going to have your high utilization. And I always tell you that the magic number for utilization is to keep it under 5%, but the magic number is 2%, right? So what I want you to do, and this is if you're financially stable, in order to get a higher credit limit, put $800, for example, on a $1,000 credit line, again, find your highest credit limit, use that card to about 75 to 80% of the credit limit. Now, you then want to make sure that you find out what the closing statement date of that card is. Okay, so you're going to call the back of the card to your highest credit limit, and you're going to say, what is the closing statement date? They're going to tell you. You want to make sure that you pay it off down to 2% before that date, or it will report at, for example, if you put that $800 on a $1,000 credit limit, you're going to report an 80% utilization, and your score will drop significantly. This is only for people who have the financial means to do this. Okay, so if you got a $3,000 credit limit and you put $2,500 on it, okay, that would be a good move, as long as you can pay it down to 2% before the closing statement date. That means that you know how the banks are like, look, okay, he has a $3,000 credit limit. His high balance on it was $2,500, but he was able to pay it down to 2%, and he actually did it before the closing date. Now you are responsible to the credit card lender, and it looks very good. And then you can ask for an increase. When you're asking for an increase, I'm going to say, look, I'm doing in my kitchen, I'm remodeling my kitchen, I'm trying to get stainless steel, granite countertops, I'm going to do my floor, I'm looking to get about another $10,000. Okay? If they see that you're responsible and that you can make the payments, okay, larger payments is the key. Tip number one, larger payments, not minimum payments, prior to the closing statement date. Each credit card has a different statement date, so make sure that you check the credit card you're talking about to making sure that you know the statement date of that card. Okay? So, tip number two. Tip number two is this. What did I tell you in the beginning? If you have a high credit limit of X, what are the next bank that you apply for? What are they going to do? So let's say we have a 300, a 500, a 1,000. You apply for another credit card. Are they going to give you 15? No. But what if you had an authorized user account or two on your credit report, and that limit on there was $15,000, $20,000 credit limit? Now, what is your high credit limit? 15 or 20,000. Okay? And so the computer system, when you apply for another credit card, it sees your high credit limit now as 15,000, not 1,000. You guys follow me? I'm dropping some damn bombs on you today, boy. So, if I had a 300, a 500, and a 1,000, I would increase. I'd get a Tradeline for like 6,000 to 7,000, and I'd put one on for 15,000. That shows progression, right? 300, 500, 1,000. Then I go to 6,000 or 7,000. Then I put a 15,000 on there. Okay, so boom. Now, when I apply for my next card, after these two authorized users report to my credit, now I apply for a credit card. They're looking at a high credit limit of 6,000. Then it looks like it moved up to 15,000. Now, are you going to go backwards and get a $1,000 credit limit? Probably not. This doesn't work for every bank, but it works for majority of banks. So what I would do is look at the way that your credit is structured now. From the lowest, write it down. This is my lowest credit limit. Here's the next one up. Here's the next one up. And then just step it up, making sure that you go up in credit limit for the next two trade lines that you get. I would recommend getting at least two trade lines, stepping it up, boom. So 300, 500, 1,000, I'd go up to 5,000 or 6,000, and then I'd get one for 15,000. That shows progression, that you've been getting higher and higher credit limits as the years went on. You guys follow me? That's called a progression file. And then when you apply, your high credit limit is now 15,000, not the 1,000. These are called authorized user trade lines. Very, very, very effective. Okay? Another thing, tip number 3. Guys, most people don't know that they can just call up and get a credit line increase. Very simple, right? After you make 3 consecutive payments to your credit cards, okay, most banks at day 91 will give you a credit line increase as long as you've been making payments. Now, is it going to go from 1,000 to 15? No. But if you're making your payments, okay, and I'm going to tell you another secret. If you can make 2 payments in a single month, your chances of getting higher limits dramatically increase. Over 60% of people that make 2 payments in 1 month end up with higher credit limits. So how was I able to get my credit limits over 50,000? Well, I started making payments. I started making payments twice a month. I put high-end trade lines on my credit report. Okay, I put a $40,000 chase on my credit, my account. Okay, and then when I applied for Barclays, they gave me $30,000. I made 3 consecutive payments. Okay, and then I said, hey, look, I'm looking to remodel my kitchen. Guess what? I need another $10,000. I was able to move my Barclays from $30,000 to $40,000. Okay, did the same thing again. Okay, make a few payments, and then just call the back of the card. Say, look, I need a little bit of increase. I want to stick with your family. I love your card. Love the benefits. Love the perks. Love the travel. Love the cash back. Know your card real well when you call. Say, I want to stay in your family. When I say stay in your family, depending on what the card is, I love Barclays. Whatever card you're talking about, just tell them you love it. Tell them you want to be with them. You want to stay with them. You want to be with them forever. It's the only card I love because I want to do this, and I'm looking to redo. I use the kitchen scenario. You guys can use whatever you want. Just don't say, look, I'm going on vacation and I want to use the credit limit for a vacation, because they just don't like that. I don't know. I've dealt with this for many, many years. And the best one that works is updating something in your house. Why? Because it's stability. It looks like you're upgrading something, okay? It also looks like you're not using it for partying and vacation, and it appears to the banks that you got a home, you're upgrading your house, they like it. I don't know the why or the rhyme or reason for it, but I'm just giving you the tip that I've used for many, many years. You guys can take it for what you're worth, okay? So, the first thing that you guys need to do, okay, is check out your closing statement date on all your cards. Make sure you know those. Then, once you know your closing statement dates, okay, then almost max the card out. And then prior to that statement date of that card, make sure you pay it off in full all the way down to 2% utilization. For example, $1,000 credit limit, okay, you put about $800 on it. But again, this is for the financially stable people, not for somebody who can't do it, because if you can't make the $800 payment, which I'm going to explain in a second, then you have an 80% utilization and your credit score will go down. So if you're financially stable, the best way to increase your credit limits and to get higher limit credit cards is to take the highest credit limit card you have now, put about 80% utilization on it, and pay it off prior to the closing statement date, which you can find by calling that bank. Every card has a different statement date. Number 2 is I would put on 2 trade lines on your credit report, okay, with higher limits, stepping it up. Again, the example, you have a 300, a 500, a 1,000, go to 5,000, put a $5,000 trade line on there, and then put a $10,000 or $15,000 trade line, on there. So it looks like over time, you've been approved for higher and higher limits. Okay, step number 3 is wait 90 days after you get your card. Tell them I'm redoing my kitchen, okay, and I need an increase. I want to stay with your family. I love your benefits, your perks. I love the Barclays card, for example. I just really want to make sure that I stay with you guys, and I'm trying to up my kitchen and get flooring and granite countertops and stainless steel kitchen and bunch, and I need about another $10,000. Hey, and then again, this is at day 91, so most credit card companies will not give you an increase before that date. Some of them will do day 61, but most of them are going to be after 90 days of consecutive payments. If you can make 2 payments in the same month, your chances increase by 60% of getting higher limits. They're showing the whole idea of this video is for you guys to understand this. Banks will give you line increases and banks will give you higher limits if you can show that you can make the payments in full. And when I say full, I never want you to pay it off completely. I want you to leave 2% on. But I mean, that's pretty much in full, right? So if it's a $3,000 credit limit, okay, I want you guys to get it down to $60. 2% of the total, okay? But if it's a $3,000 credit limit, I want you to put $2,500 on it. If you can do it, put $2,500 on it. Use it like a debit card. If you guys got something to buy it on that card. And then if you got the cash in the bank, only to make the payment of $2,500 to bring it back down to 2% utilization, which is where I want you guys, your chances of then calling that bank and saying, hey, I need a credit line increase, they increase by 60%. That's like the 3 tips I just gave you are the game changers for getting credit line increases and to get higher credit limits. Go back to this video as many times as you need to. This is my way of giving back to you guys. And again, my name is Mike. I'm with the Credit Game. I bring it to you every single day. Now, here's the deal. If you're not in my program already, you know the associates, the bachelor's program, the programs that we have. I can help you get authorized user trade lines for up to 75% off competitive prices. Just being in my membership allows you to get trade lines for up to 75% off. I used to have a broker program and give you 50% off. This is up to 75% off of what I used to charge. That's by being in my program. So not only that, you can take the money, literally take the program, and if you wanted to resell the trade lines, you can buy a trade line for $200 or $300 and sell it for $1,000. You're getting 75% off. There's a money-making tip for you guys as well. I always want to over-deliver, right? So that's my associates in my bachelor's program. That's what you need if you're looking to get huge discounts on putting a package of trade lines on your credit report. Listen, that one investment right there in associates or bachelor's could be the difference between you getting another $1,000 credit limit or a $15,000 credit limit because you have a high credit limit on there now. My name is Mike from The Credit Game. If you guys want the help, you want the education, and you want to get up to 75% off of trade lines, competitive prices, then pick up the phone and call me. I'm here for you. I'm out here waiting right now. Heading over to the office. Call me now. My team's out there waiting for you. 904-420-7772. It's Mike from The Credit Game. Make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the thumbs up for me. Please turn on that bell notification, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you all. Thank you for watching The Credit Game. As always, Uncle Mike coming to you real.